Hi everyone, and welcome back to a new video. Sorry, I know that I haven't been posting a lot of videos lately, and that's because I've been moving to a new city. As you might be able to see, my background looks completely different. That's because I'm in a new flat. So I live now in Germany, in the beautiful city of Munich. So I've moved from Frankfurt to Munich, which took quite a while. But now I'm back, and yeah, I'm gonna keep posting new videos. For this year in 2018, I will of course keep posting on Framework 7 stuff, but I thought maybe it would be a good idea to diverse the topics a little bit more. So I will also be posting some new stuff, which is not Framework 7 related, like this video for example. So today we'll be talking mostly about React and how to keep your styles clean within React. But it's not totally unrelated to Framework 7, because keep in mind that there is a Framework 7 version which works with React. So you can actually combine these both technologies if you want to. And of course there is Framework 7 version 2, which came up, I think, at the beginning of January. So it's out of beta, you can officially use it, and also the documentation is up, so you can read up everything on it. And I will be posting some videos about Framework 7 version 2, of course. And what I really would like to hear is which topics you're interested in. So I've been hearing from people on Twitter that that routing is actually a topic that some people are interested in. And yeah, so I will probably be making a video about routing in version 2. But yeah, other topics, I don't know what you like or what you want to see, so please comment down below in the comment section here on YouTube. And without further ado, let's get started with React and keeping your CSS code clean.
Okay guys, so let's get started. I have a small React project here, which has been created using create React app. This is very simple. All it does is just print out hello world, and it just has one index file to bootstrap our application, and one app.js file, which has our root component for our application, and the usual stuff like package.json for our app. And as you can see, we don't have much installed. We have React, of course, and ESLint, which we're going to need later, and that's pretty much it. So what I'm going to show you today in this video is which is the best way to find which CSS styles you don't need anymore in your React app. And the reason for this is I've been working on a pretty big project last year with 4 teams, and each team did consist of between 4 and 6 developers. So these were all working on one project, and the big problem here is that CSS is not really very friendly to maintenance. So this means it happens very often that you end up with lots of dead code. And in this project last year, I think we ended up with about 2 to 3 megabytes of CSS code, which is just way too much. But none of the developers really dared to remove any styles, because we never knew if those styles are still required or not. So I've been thinking how to fix this issue. So let me show you something. So let's say we want to create an application which works both for desktop and mobile. So let's say hello desktop and hello mobile. Okay, so this is being printed out. So what you want is, we want this part to be shown on your desktop computers, and this one only on mobile. And typically how you would do this using media queries, right? So the problem here is usually in React you use inline styles, right? So what you would do is something like this, like desktop style, and you can give this a color, and then we have mobile style, and make this, I don't know, green, like this. And then we apply our styles to our components, right? So now this part is red and this part is green. Okay, now this works. Now the problem here is how do we apply our media queries? There's no way you can do something like this, like add a media query here or as a string. Actually, you can add this here, something like this. Scene ends min width equals, I don't know, 40 pixels, and then oops, sorry, I meant max width. So we don't want well, we don't want freaking spam. So let's delete this. So what we want is on mobile breakpoint up to 480 pixels, we don't want the desktop style to be shown. So let's see. So app actually running? Yeah, it's running. And as you can see, this is still shown. And the reason for this is, if we inspect this part, see it says unsupported style property. And the reason for this is that you can't use media queries within inline styles. It's just not possible. So that's why we have to find a workaround, right? So there are various ways how to solve this. So let's remove this for a second. One thing that you could do is you could add your styles here, right? So you can go like this. And we have to use string padding here. Oops. And then we can reference our components, the old-fashioned style with an ID or a class name or whatever you want. What's this? Okay. And then we go like, yeah, this is desktop. And this is mobile. Why is this? What's going on? Curly braces are unnecessary here. Really? I don't think so. Are you sure, computer? Alright, so let's remove this. Oh, really? Okay, nice. So give this color red again, and for mobile, color green. So what's now going on? Unexpected token. I told you, computer, that we need this. No, what's going on now? I adopt that. So for the moment, let's just ignore this warning. I think there's something going on with the ESLint. So let's just turn this warning off for a second. Okay. And as you can see, we have our desktop part red and mobile green. And as you would typically do using a media query, so for desktop we want max width 480, And for mobile breakpoint, you want to hide it. Alright, so let's see if this works. See, this is gone, and we do the same thing for our mobile string. So now we go like 481 pixels and mobile and hide it. So if I change the size of our viewport here, well, why is this not working? What did I do wrong? Media screen and min width 481. Mobile display none. Should be working. Oh, okay. So 480 seems to be a little bit too big, so let's reduce this. You have to keep in mind that I'm running a very low resolution here, so you can actually see everything, and the font is not too small. So let's try this again. So okay, so on a bigger screen we have Hello Desktop in red, and on a smaller screen we see our mobile stuff. Okay, now this works. Now the problem with this is, even if it works, there are two main issues. First, if you declare your styles within your components like this, it's just, it's just too much. You have all your styles in your component file, and you mix it up with the HTML, and this can become very messy. And also, let's say if you remove your div here for mobile, you won't get any warning at all. So it's possible that one of your team members removed this element, and you still have this dead CSS code. So this is not a true solution, at least not for me. So what else could you do? So what you could do as well is you can take all the stuff and whoops, you can create a new file and call it styles.css and paste it in here. And I'm gonna re-add my component for mobile. And what you can use now is something that's called Css Modules. So you can import styles.css, and what this basically does is it will include the CSS from styles.css and add it to your bundle that's been exported by Webpack. And if I go like this, you can see it still works. So this is okay, because now you have your styles in a different style sheet file. So this is a lot cleaner. But still, if I delete this, there's always a chance that someone forgets or doesn't know where to delete the CSS. So you would have to kind of keep in mind that you will have to delete this as well, right? So this is not working as well. Yeah, so all these standard solutions didn't really work well for me. And me and my team, we've been thinking a lot in our new company. And I would like to show you how we resolve this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this style CSS file first and add my mobile div back like this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop my app here, and I'm going to install something that's called Radium Npm Install, save Radium. Oops. So while this is installing, you can check the GitHub website, like GitHub Radium for React. So this is their GitHub website, and you can check it out if you want. What Radium is, it's a CSS framework, which gives you a little bit of support for for styling your React application. And I'm going to show you how this works. So what you need to do is, first thing is you have to, after installing it, I'm gonna restart my application here, which looks okay. So the first thing is you have to import Radium. So I'm going to do that. Radium. And here at the end, where you export your component, you have to wrap it with Radium like this. And I'm going to explain you later why you have to do this, but this is really important. So after this, there's the second thing you have to do. You have to find your root component. Now in this case, this is just my app component in my index.js file. And I'm going to import something which is called style root. Whoops. Style root from Radium. And what you have to do is you have to take your root component and wrap it. Whoops. Wrap it like this. And wrap it really good. There. What's this? Okay. Yeah, it just wants the order of the import to be different, but this is just fine. So see, now we have wrapped our root component app into style root. So after doing this, we go back to our app component, and we're gonna define some new styles. So I'm gonna define one variable for each component. Now this is very important. Don't do this. Like my styles, let's say we have desktop here and we have mobile here, and of course color green and color red. Don't do this, because if you use it, you would use it like this. My styles dot desktop and assign style equals my styles dot mobile. I mean, it does work, but you have again the same problem. If I delete this, there will be no warning or error or anything that you're still using the styles here. So what I always do is I define one variable for each component. So I go like this, my like desktop style, and I define another variable for my mobile style. And maybe I also have a style for title. Let's call it, I don't know, title style. Like this. And have my title here. Also my app. And then I'm assign it title style. Oops. And change this to desktop style. Why do I keep typing capital T? Mobile style. Okay. So there we go. Let's say my app, this is a little bit too big. Let's change it to, I don't know, 14 pixels or so. Save it. Whoops. I mean font size. And this one will be again color red. My mobile will be color green. Okay, so far so good. Now let's add our media queries. Now the cool thing about Radium is now you can use media queries within inline styles. So I'm gonna go with media screen and max width 320 pixels and hide it, and do the same for mobile. just with min with 321 pixels and hide it as well. So I'm going to save it. And as you can see, for a smaller breakpoint, we have our green Hello Mobile, and for bigger, it's red Hello Desktop. So this works. Now, what's the difference between using inline styles with Radium and without? The biggest difference is that you can use your media query in your inline styles. But if you remember at the beginning of the video, I told you that you can't do this, that the browser won't accept it. So let's look into our HTML here, what's actually going on. So here we have our Hello Mobile, and it does have the color green style, but there's no media query. And if you look very, very closely, you might notice that there's a new class element called RMQ633D9294. Now what this is this is a class name which has been generated by Radium, which is also unique, so there's no other element with the same class name. And what Radium basically does is it takes this media query from your style and extracts it, okay? And it extracts it like this into an inline style and adds it here. And now it can reference our element through the class name which has been generated from Radium. So you don't have to worry about all this stuff. I just want you to understand what's going on. So if we look at the bottom, remember that we wrapped our component with Radium. And in this part, Radium scans all your styles and extracts the media queries, the way I've shown you before. And now the cool thing about this is, let's say I remove this, let's say I remove desktop style, okay? We don't need this anymore, I'm going to save it. And what now happens is, since I have ESLint installed on my IDE, and I have also installed in my package.json, as you remember, so let's look into package.json here, ESLint. Because of this, we get an error. I mean, it's not bad, the app is still running, but ESLint warns us with desktop style assigned as a value but never used. So now that we have this error, we can be 100% sure that we can delete this, right? So this is really cool. I mean, keep in mind that sometimes you have really big project with tons of CSS code and lots of components, and in this case this is really, really helpful. So to wrap it up, use Radium and apply one variable for each style. And of course you can add new attributes like, I don't know, what else, text decoration, underline, oops. You can add more, of course, if you want, but what you shouldn't do is add new new layers into your styles, like don't do like something like this, like a sub whatever element there might be, and no, don't do this, okay? Because it's not gonna work. You have to keep your hierarchy really flat, and also don't move this stuff, your styles, into an own file, because then if this wouldn't be here, and we would have to import your styles from whatever, or let's say mystyles.js, your ESLint wouldn't be able to detect which styles you use and which not. So this is not a very good solution. So always keep your styles in a variable, keep them in the same file as your component, and you should be fine. Okay, so that's it. Thanks a lot for listening. Don't forget to write in the comments which new features of Framework 7 version 2 you would like to see. Also let me know if you're actually interested in other stuff than Framework 7, like React, or maybe isomorphic programming is a topic that I would be interested in, Next.js, Meteor, stuff like that. Let me know, and thanks for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and like, and see you in the next video. Bye!